Are you someone that's normally planned and organized, or do you just run from the seat of your pants? Are you looking forward to having an even greater return on the second half of 2021, or is it just going to be the same old results? Well, stick with me in this episode, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a conversation over the next few weeks that's going to help you to 10 times the return on the efforts that you put in and magnify your results. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, Emotional Intelligence Speaker and Trainer of the Year and Master Coach Trainer. And today I want to talk to you in this episode about planning your road ahead. So here it is. It's the 30th of June as I am preparing this for you. And here in Australia, that's the end of the financial year. And the second half of the year is ahead of us. What I'm going to do is help you over the next few weeks to make sure that you can get more out of the second half of the year than you did out of the first. Just with some simple strategies and a structure that I use, you can get more done. You can achieve a greater level of success. You can actually finish some of those things that you promised yourself that you would get finished sometime this year. I know for me, I'm not a naturally organized person, and it's something that I've had to do over a period of time to rewire my brain, to shift my mindset. And instead of saying things like, I work better when I'm on the edge and I've got a tight deadline, I now know by the way that the brain works, the way that my physical body works, my mental energy works. Employing these strategies is actually a way better way to go. So if you're like me and it's not something that's natural to you, that's totally okay. Because when we have a particular formula to follow, a set of steps within that formula that we can take, what we end up with is a structured plan and a way of getting from where we are now to where we want to go. The process that I use for myself and I teach all my clients is what I call the R4 method. I'm a pretty simple person, so for me, if I can have all the words starting with the same letter, it's easy for me to remember. If I've got it broken down into bite-sized chunks, so I know do this, then do this, then do this, and then do that, I know it's something that I'm going to be able to follow. If I then have within each of those chunks, more chunks and steps that I can do to get each of those completed, then I know that I'm capable of getting where I want to go. So as we start this new conversation this month, what I want to do is give you the overview of this R4 method and allow you then to put your content in it. And the end result is that you're going to have your plan. You know, a lot of times I see people trying to fit into the plans of others or use the process that other people use. What I want to do is give you a framework that I know works. What you need to do is then put your content and make sure that it fits in your context. Now, what I didn't say there was just take some shortcuts. That's certainly something that I would have heard years ago. The process that I'm going to give you works. So what we need to do is adopt the process and then adapt it to fit your particular needs. Let me now break down the 4 elements of the R4 method. As I said, I've made it easy for me by making everything start with the same letter. The first thing we need to do is we need to look at the results we want. So if we look at the end of 2021 or a year from now, whatever you want to do, or it could be the next 90 days, what you need to firstly come up with is your destination. Where is it that you want to go? Where is it that you want to arrive at that particular point that you've drawn a line in your journey? Let's, for the purpose of today, look at the next 6 months. We've been in the first 6 months of the year, you've done certain things, you've got certain results. What we're now looking forward to is where we're going to be at the end of the year. We need to get clear on what it is that we want. And to do this, I like to look in different areas of my life. So whether you're doing this for your business, for your coaching practice, or for your entire life, this is totally up to you. What I do is I do this process in all the different areas of my life. So I'm going to talk about from a business perspective today. So it's the 31st of December, 2021, and this is where I want to end up. So having a clear picture as if it's already happened is what I need to do. So the first part of the process is to write down a list of all the things that you want to achieve. And what I like to do is make sure that that's at a higher level. So if it's something in my business, it might be about the size and makeup of my team, or it might be about the programs that I'm offering. It could be the number of countries that I've expanded into. That's the first thing we're going to look at. What are the results that you want to have at the end of the year? The second R, and the second part of the process, is to have a look at your reality. So now that we know where we want to go, we need to reverse engineer that now and go, okay, where am I now? So to do that, we draw a line in the sand today and we have a look at those same areas that we were putting our results around and we go, okay, compared to that, where am I now? So if it's how many countries I'm in, well, how many countries am I in now? If it's the makeup of my team, well, how does my team look now? If it's the revenue that I'm turning over, how does my revenue look now? Whatever it is. So we now look at our current reality. The third part of the process is to now take a look at those things that would stop you from going from where you are now to where you want to go. And I call those roadblocks. We're on a journey. And if we could imagine driving down the road and there was a big barrier that we either had to go around or we had to find a total new way of getting there, or it stopped us from getting any further down the road. All of us have roadblocks that we are operating and we are putting in place in our life right now. They're mindsets, beliefs, behaviors that we're doing that are not serving the results that we want. So ask yourself the question, what am I doing or not doing right now that is and or can stop me from getting those results? So, for example, if I'm talking about my team, it could be that someone might be thinking that having a team is more work. If I'm looking at the revenue that I want to turn over by the end of the year, it could be someone having sales reluctance or call reluctance or a challenge with making money, whatever it is. So the third step is to identify your roadblocks. So now that we know where we want to go, we know where we are, we know what could stop us from getting there, the fourth and final part of the equation is to look at, well, what are the resources that I need to add so that I can go from where I am now to where I want to be and overcome those roadblocks. Those resources are not just monetary or financial. What I'm talking about there is, what do I need to learn? Who do I need to become so that I can overcome those roadblocks and actually get to the destination that I want to go on or where I want to arrive. The resources could be some personal or professional development. The resources could be outsourcing some of the things that need to be done to other people. The resources could be physical resources that you need in your organization, etc. But whatever they are, their whole purpose is to empower us, to empower you to overcome those roadblocks and actually go from where you are now to where you want to end up. There you have it, a 4-part process that I just wanted to introduce you to today, so that when you invest some energy into sitting down and working that out, you will end up with a plan that you can implement. And by implementing that plan, which is, by the way, is the only way that it's going to be of any value to you, you can get far better results out of the second half of 2021 than you've got out of the first. Well, that's it from me for this week. Join me again next week as I'm going to go deeper into the 4 elements of the R4 roadmap. So next week, we're going to talk about results. We're going to roll up our sleeves. I'm going to give you the opportunity to workshop with me and set yourself up to arrive at a destination that you actually want to arrive at. Make sure that you hit the button and you click on the little bell so that you are subscribed and notified when I go live again, and you get the next part of this journey. If you're listening to this on the podcast, I would love you to give me a review and ask any questions that you have, put any insights that you might have got out of coming on this journey with me. And I look forward to working with you as together we put together a plan of success so that you get where it is that you want to go. You can have a far different second half of 2021 if you change some mindsets and some behaviors and you work on this R4 plan. I'll see you next week.